We just took over this 10-unit building in Southwest Roanoke. And instead of shelving it because it was a mess, we're restructuring the whole entire thing. It's a 10-unit multifamily building built in like early 70s, really nice brick structure, but it's been super poorly mismanaged. It's about 50% vacant right now. Hasn't been renovated, I think, since the 70s. They still have some really funky type of medicine cabinets in there, vanities, things along those lines. So we're here today kind of getting ready for the takeoff that's going to be starting tomorrow. Some of our guys are already out there demoing, but planning on turning this property around as quickly as possible. Bought it at $740,000 in Southwest Roanoke Historic District, out about $150,000 that we're going to put into it. And we're going to take it from, you know, a hopefully $740,000 valuation all the way up to $1.5 million in the first 12 months. And then tomorrow we're going to go out, check on our guys, see if they got the first 3 units done. That's what this order's for, to get this baby rolling. We're on our way to meet the contractors this morning, and we're going to check on their work on phase 1 and look into getting them started on phase 2. So this building's actually 2 floors of apartments, garden style, so they're outside access, but bottom floor has 5 apartments, top floor has 5 apartments. We started the demo on the upstairs. There's 3 one-bedroom units up here that needed to be renovated. We've got unit 7 right next door, unit 8, unit 9. Luckily they were all empty, which makes it super easy to come in and do renovations. When you've got people living there and you're trying to update units, it gets a little messy. So we started phase 1 here. We're going to get these 3 done. The demo should already be done. That's what we're going to go in here and check out. And if everything looks good here and everything's been dumped and done to our standards, then we're going to move the guys downstairs. We're waiting on them to get here right now, so we've got a little bit of time to check out the progress so far. So let's go check it out. So one thing you'll probably notice immediately with this one is it was not a full gut renovation job. Some of those we've done, some of them we haven't. But this one in particular, we felt like there were things we could save. These cabinets, for instance, were actually in pretty decent shape, but the countertops were super old. So we pulled those out, pulled the sink out, but we're gonna save the sink. They had these really old stoves in here that were probably from the 70s. So taking that out, cutting this down, being able to put a full-size range in with a hood vent and get some new countertops. That fridge is going to get put in storage because it's actually a decent fridge, but if we have new appliances everywhere else, we're going to make a stainless fridge. We can use that one if we need to source it for another property or something along those lines. And then we'll put some new flooring down here as well to cover up this stuff. The rest of the floor is pretty good, but the bathrooms are the biggest issues in all of these apartments. They haven't been touched since the 70s. And there's been a lot of water problems. So we did tenant interviews before we actually bought the property. It was part of our due diligence process. And almost every single one of them complained about either leaks coming from upstairs or they didn't have good water pressure. And as we started to dig in through our due diligence, it was a lot of just plumbing problems. So we knew we were going to renovate the bathrooms anyway. We knew we were going to rip everything out and replace it. So didn't disqualify the deal for us by any means. This was a 60-unit apartment building. Might have been a different story, but 10 units we can manage. And there's quite a few problems in the bathroom. So we started ripping up floors, took the old tubs out, took the old vanities out. And when you looked at the subfloor in those properties, you could tell there's been years and years of leaks. Some will have the kitchen ripped out, some will not. These we could save. So trying to save our money, trying to save time, get tenants in here as soon as possible. Hey guys, real quick, if you're new to this channel and you want to follow more projects like this, see all of our multifamily turnaround projects from finding the deal to acquiring it, to doing the renovations and demo work, all the way up through stabilizing it, getting it rented, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like and share this video as well. We also have a free investor community. If you're interested in getting in on deals like this, investing with us or having us teach you how to invest, go to the link in our bio, join the Haven Investor Network in the community and start posting, start liking, start talking. we'd love to connect with you. So that was kind of phase one of the demo project. You could see those were pretty light on the demo side, minus the bathrooms, but that's why we chose to do those first. We're gonna knock those out, get it renovated super quick, try and get new tenants in here, increase the NOI, but these are our problems. So they're the bigger projects, bigger demo, more renovations, and it's gonna take a lot longer to do these. So come inside, check it out. So one little trick I learned from my pops is the blue tape special. We got some demo workers and contractors that no habla inglés too well. And to avoid any miscommunication, which we've had in the past, we pretty much go through and put blue tape on everything that needs to be demoed. So there's no miscommunication. If it doesn't have blue tape on it, don't take it out. And we've had those problems before, and it obviously causes some issues, but you can't be mad at somebody that didn't understand the instructions. So this is great. You can also write on it, usually in Spanish. And it's also easy to take off if you screw up and you decide you want to take something. You don't leave a bunch of like duct tape residue on stuff. And in this kitchen, we're pretty much demoing the whole thing, so it should be pretty easy to understand. However, you never know. So we go ahead and mark it all, and appliances and all, lights. And then once we're done, we'll have a clean slate. We'll be able to come back and completely just redo this whole entire kitchen. So we're getting ready. Phase one demo is done. Here with Chino, we got phase two demo coming up. Just marked everything that's going to be taken out, and this one's going to be a lot more work than the ones upstairs, but we can get the demo knocked out. We've got the materials ordered for phase one, and we're going to get these turned around pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah, you good?
Thank you.
All right, buddy. We'll get after it.
All right, so wrapping that up, all in all, pretty happy with progress so far. Those guys knocked out the first phase of the demo in like 3 days, and now they're on to this second phase, which there's only 2 units, but a little bit more on the demo side, taking the flooring out, dealing with some plumbing problems, things like that. But wanted to jump into a few of the numbers. So we have about $150,000 renovation budget for these, and we actually got that through bank financing. However, the bank is only willing to lend us up to 80% of that $150,000. So the way that works is they do it through draws. So we basically come out of pocket to pay, material renovations or demolition. And then what we'll do is we'll take those receipts and we'll go back to the bank and we'll say, hey, you gave us a loan for $700,000 for the purchase. We've got $150,000 in construction budget that you're willing to lend us up to, or at least 80% of that. And then we'll say, hey, we spent $30,000 so far. Give us, and then they'll reimburse us for 80% of that. So we do a chunk in the renovation process. We'll get reimbursed for it. We'll take that money back. We'll do another chunk in the renovation process. We'll get reimbursed for it. And we kind of do those draws all the way up to the point where we are stabilized. We've maxed out how much we have spent on the construction side, and then we can get tenants in here, and now it's a cash flowing property. But that is helpful, one, in a couple ways. One, the bank, they feel like they don't want to just give you all the money up front, which makes sense. People could just do whatever they want with it. They want to actually see the progress of it. But from our standpoint, we're also not paying interest on money that we haven't used yet. So if we took that whole $150,000 and it was just sitting in the bank, then we're paying interest on it as the project goes along. We don't have cash flow on those units yet. So we'll chunk it up. We'll pay the interest that we need on the money that we need. And then as the project and the property starts to stabilize, then we will, we'll be able to pay that additional interest with the rents that we have coming in and the operational, efficiencies that we've installed, like billing back utilities and adding ancillary income sources like the laundry room and things along those lines. So that's the process. It's kind of phase one right now. we're going through the demo phase. We've already made the material order. And I think for the first 3 apartments, that material order was really only about $12,000 across all 3. And then we'll have labor on top of that, obviously. But once we get the materials in, once we get the first 3 renovated and paid for, then we'll go back to the bank and we'll say, hey, we've spent, $30,000 up to this point, reimburse us for, our 80%. And then we'll take that money and go move it back into the next phase of the project. So that's it. Like I said before, hit subscribe, hit like, share this video. We're going to continue these kind of updates, behind the scenes stuff as we go through this project. We've got the Mountain Ave project, which we're at here now. We've got the Bob White portfolio that we're starting to work on. I'm underwriting some additional deals over here in Roanoke. We're finishing up a project in Pulaski, and we're about to start our next 90-day multifamily sprint. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. If you're interested in multifamily, if you want to know how to run a turnaround project, if you want to be an investor with us, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you go to the link in our bio, get in the school community, start engaging with us, see if you get in the next sprint cohort, and we'll see you around.